to our viewers in Nigeria and across the world. Lunchtime politics begins right now. Well, in his first taxation move, major one, President Tinubu suspends the 5% excise tax on telecommunication services, among others, reversing former President Buhari's policies. But how is this affecting the economy? The police arrests 15 suspects in connection with the shootings and sit-at-home enforcement in parts of Ebonyi State. And the Benue State government and the opposition People's Democratic Party trade blames over detention of 4 suspended local government chairmen, including an 82-year-old woman. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll begin with our top story. Well, the police in Ebonyi State has arrested some persons they say were responsible for shootings in parts of the state last Friday. Operating the suspects at the command headquarters in Abakaliki, the state capital, the Commissioner of Police in the state, Faleo Olaleye, says his men apprehended 15 suspects, including a herbalist who prepares charm for the gunmen. The police had said it was on the heels of the hoodlums who attacked the Ohaku Police Division, burning down a patrol vehicle in the process, as well as the gunmen who invaded markets in Isheke and Okwachi environs in Abakaliki, shooting sporadically leading to citizens scampering for safety. No life is said to have been lost in both incidents.
On the 2nd, these people attacked my area commander team, burn our patrol vehicles. On 5th, they came, went to Isheke, went to Akaize, firing sporadically. Today, I want to tell you that 15 of them have been apprehended, even with their herbalist. You can see their board. You can see the red clothes they were wearing that day. You can see all their paraphernalia. This also includes the women. They were preparing for another attack today when we carry out the strange operation and arrested them. I came in February. No single person who has given me information has come out that the information leaked and they are after them. Nobody. So let them have confidence. Even in the Commission of Police that are coming, and all my men, we are honorable person in Ebonyi State. This command is one of the best, if not the first in this country. We are ready to do our work and we'll do it excellently.
And now to politics, it would seem the ruckus start to the Abia State 8th Assembly is far from over, as members of the majority People's Democratic Party in the Assembly staged a walkout over what they described as undemocratic practices. Well, the 11 PDP members are against the Speaker's decision to cede the position of the majority leader, amongst others, which they say is against democratic House rules. And speaking to newsmen in Umaya, the state capital, a PDP state legislator, Solomon Akwelonu, said the action is peaceful, as they would rather take a peaceful approach to enforcing the House rule.
So they still repeated it, and some of our members also advised that those things be expunged, but they insisted, and we are not going to be part of the illegality. If they want to take majority leader, let them take both minority leaders and everything. We are going to resolve that issue any moment from now, because that particular section is unambiguous, and we want the court. Instead of fighting, the best thing for you to do is to excuse yourself, so that the other people will know that you are not happy. So this is what we have just done. So it's not that it's just a way of trying to tell the speaker to correct, to right the wrong. The speaker is handicapped. He's handicapped. The speaker knows what they are doing is wrong. He knows. But because there are forces, that are trying to coerce him, you understand me? He just came in, and the circumstances in which he came in as a speaker. So he will play safe, even though he knows what is happening is wrong. He cannot say that he's unaware of what is going on here. What we expected of him as the father of the whole state now is to call all of us so that we can sit down and resolve the thing amicably. We have undertaken to work with him. We are not anti-Abia people. We have pledged to him that we are going to work together, support him so that we will have a better Abia, or move Abia forward from where Dr. Kessiah left it. I will refer you to what happened on June 14th. You decipher whether the clerk should say the truth or not. Go and watch our proceedings.
So the last time out, it was the emergence of the Speaker of the State Assembly that caused a furore. And now it is the principal officers. And the big question is, would there ever be some sort of breather or peace in the Abia State Assembly? Let's have a conversation with members of the 8th Assembly. We're joined by Mr. Ndubuisi Emmanuel, who's a member of the People's Democratic Party in the Abia State Assembly, representing Bende South, as well as Mr. Austin Merigini, who is a member of the Labour Party. Both gentlemen join us via Zoom this afternoon. Thank you for joining us on Lunchtime Politics, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Right. I'd like to begin with Mr. Merigini, because the lawmaker who spoke there said quite a number of things. I'd like to get your response. First, he was of the opinion that, hey, the Labour Party is minority, clearly, with the number of members it has. So why trying to usurp that those offices meant for the majority party, which is the PDP?
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you so much. First of all, I'm Right Honorable Austin Okezie Merigini, the Deputy Speaker, Abia House of Assembly. If I got you right, you were talking about who was the majority, or who is the majority and who is the minority in the House.
No, the question is pointedly at what the lawmaker said earlier on, that why is the Labour Party trying to usurp those offices, the majority offices, or at least the positions that are meant for the majority party, when the Labour Party is the minority?
Okay, nobody is trying to usurp any person's position. In the first place, the House is made up of 24 members, right? And out of the 24 members, the PDP has only 11 members, and while the Labour Party has 10 members. The YPP has 2 members, and the APC has 1 member. Okay, if you look at it, and the rule of the House, specifically Rule 148, it gives power to the House to suspend any of the rules of the House. And if you look at the configuration, PDP does not constitute the majority of the House. We are 24 in number, and PDP is not even up to half of the number. And if you join Labour Party, and our brothers from YPP, 2 of our brothers from YPP and the one from APC has declared that they want to always align with us going forward, a kind of a coalition. And secondly, we have had this argument with them over who should produce who, and it is subject to expression of, anybody's interest. The election was conducted free and fair, on the day of election, and nothing happened that you will say that it's not within the ambit of the law. So if they are alluding to the fact that they are the majority, you see that they are getting it wrong. Even
so
if
which
you look
party, Right Honourable, so which party is the majority? Because I'm trying to understand the rationale. If you say the PDP has 11, the Labour Party has 10, YPP has 2, APC has 1. So which party is majority? Help us understand.
We will say no party has any clear majority, because majority in the real sense is the number that is more than half of the whole. We are 24 in the House. PDP has only 11 members. Labour Party has 10, YPP has 2, APC has 1. Okay? PDP cannot claim to be a majority in the House when those of the YPP, 2 of them in YPP and 1 of them in APC, have declared they were, in terms of vote or anything, that they were ready to align with us, vote for Labour Party. Okay? Right. And I don't see any reason why they should keep, raising this dust. as if they have that clear mandate to produce the majority leadership of the House.
All right, let's take this Honorable Emmanuel now. Pardon me, just to get his response to that point you made. Honorable Emmanuel, if you can, I imagine you've been following this, and I'd like you to speak to that, because it looks like the position of the PDP is that, well, leave that to us. We allowed you to take Speaker, allow us to take at least the principal offices, particularly for the majority. But he says, you don't have a majority.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, my name is Honorable Emmanuel. I represent the South State constituency in the State Assembly. Our standing rules is very clear on who the party to produce the Order 8 to 42 of our standing rules, and I quote, the majority leader shall be nominated by the political party that has the highest number of members in the House. That is what is written in our rules. The rules did not provide for coalition. If any member of the YPP or Labour wants or APC wants to join Labour, they come to the floor of the House and declare. The rules is not ambiguous, and it is clear that it is the party that has the highest number of members in the House. And from what the Honorable Meregini mentioned, the PDP has the highest number of members in the House of Assembly. So there is no reason why the opposition party in the House will want to have the majority leader. It is wrong, and it's against our rules. And it's against the rules that the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker are meant to uphold.
But please speak to that point he made, that 148 of the rules gives the Assembly powers to suspend, the rules of the House.
Yes, was the rule suspended? There was no rule, was suspended. There has to be, the Speaker has to call for, there has to be a motion for the suspension of the rule. And it has to be vetoed by majority of members. There was no such suspension of the rules.
So you're saying that the
appropriate... Besides...
All right, so you're saying the appropriate modalities were not followed?
Were not followed. Besides, it is not the House responsibility to appoint majority leader and minority leader. It is the responsibility of the political parties. It is not elected.
Right.
It is the political parties that appoint who becomes their majority leader, and it's not the prerogative of the Speaker or Deputy Speaker, or not even the House. It's the political party.
Okay.
So there's no reason for suspension of the rules.
All right. Honorable Mayor Guinea, he says that there was no such, suspension, that didn't happen, perhaps the way it was meant to happen. So I wonder how that happened from your side. And tell us, the principal officers that were announced, the members of the PDP or members of the Labour Party, and how did you come to those names?
Yes, please. Thank you so much. It is always good to have this clarification. In the first place, the same house rule he is referring to, my brother from the PDP, Honorable Emma, is referring to. If you go to Rule 39, it says clearly that the House shall select its principal officers. It didn't say the party. Do you understand me? He said the House shall select its principal officers. And as I said earlier, in the same rule, in 148, he said it gives the power, the same rule gives power to suspend any of the rules of the House, and which was suspended before we could, because they were interested in causing a kind of uproar in the House. They weren't even following the proceedings of the House. The same House rule empowers the House to suspend any rule that they find, conflictual. Okay, and in Rule 39, it didn't say the political parties should choose.
But did the majority agree to the suspension, Honorable? Did the majority in the House agree to that suspension?
Yes, quite well. And secondly, the House rule, the same House rule he's alluding to, did not say it is the party that will choose. He said it is the House shall choose. That's the House of Assembly. It didn't say it is the political parties. We need to have this clearly, stated.
Well, he has said that no. Again, as you were speaking, he said no, that the majority did not agree to that. So it looks like we have on our hands some sort of impasse.
Not only that, the rule says that the political party that has the highest number of members in the House shall produce the majority leader. That is what the rule says. Will you choose the rule you will obey and the rule you will not obey? All the rules are meant for the House to obey. So, and it's the responsibility of the Deputy Speaker. Yes.
Well, Honorable
the underlying factor here is in Rule 39, specifically in page 25 of our House rules, the same House rules is referring to.
Yes.
If you can read it out, he said, in appointing the underlisted political principal officers, the House may choose. The House may choose. It didn't say the political party may choose or the political party may appoint. So it's important we become very clear in all of this.
Right, Honorable, there are many principal officers in the House outside the majority leader. But the rule specifically mentioned the majority leader. It didn't mention other principal officers. So the House may choose other principal officers.
Honorable Mergini, allow him land. You respond afterwards.
Including that of the leader, the deputy leader, and all the rest of them. That particular section listed all the principal positions in the House. It wasn't particular. It wasn't particular about speaker or deputy speakership.
Okay,
and speaking
gentlemen,
about speakership and deputy speakership is another conflict which they have, refused to abide with, because there is nothing illegal in what we have done thus far.
Okay, Right Honorable Mergini, looks like the PDP, they're standing their ground. It looks like they're still, trying to recover from the speakership contest. And I don't know if there was some sort of agreement between both parties saying, yes, you can have the speakership, but allow us at least have the principal officers. Was there such agreement? And I wonder, how will this be resolved? Let me begin with Honorable Manuel.
No, there was no agreement.
There was. Thank you very much.
I think he's referring to me. He was referring to me.
Honorable Mergini, a minute. Allow Honorable Manuel speak, then you can respond.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, very well.
Thank you very much. The issue of speakership, there was no such agreement. The speakership, our rules are clear concerning the speakership. Our rules says that it is the order, standing order 2, rule 8. It must be ranking members of the House that will take a principal position, presiding position in the House of Assembly. We discussed this issue and told them that even the 5th alteration to the 1999 Constitution as amended confirmed that we have to use our rules. That it is only ranking members that will be presiding positions, presiding officers in the House of Assembly. It is in our rules.
Okay.
It is clearly in our rules.
But that didn't happen.
There was no such agreement.
Okay, but that didn't happen. So final words from Right Honorable on this one. I don't know if the governor is going to be wading in, not forgetting the fact that the legislature is meant to be independent. Yeah. But I'd like you to respond to the points he made as we wind down in less than a minute now.
Yes, just as he said, there was no agreement that they will allow us produce the speaker and deputy speaker while we allow them produce other principal officers, especially on the majority side. No agreement at all. What happened was there was an election and the Labour Party won the speakership and the deputy speakership on the floor of the House.
You had an election. We were not allowed. We were not allowed to participate in the election.
Please, I'm talking.
And
please, I'm
talking.
Please, I'm talking.
Allow Right Honorable speak as we wind down on this.
You cannot cut me off, please. Yeah. You cannot cut me off. So
Right Honorable, go ahead, please.
Yes, what I'm saying in effect is, it is not good for you to choose the particular rule or law you want to obey. The issue of ranking is in total conflict with the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Specifically, Section 92, subsection 1, it says that the House shall choose its speaker and deputy speaker from amongst themselves. No other clause added to it. But you see, they want to just mop it up on us as if we are coming from the cave era. So what I'm saying is, the Labour Party in the House, the Abia State House of Assembly, has not broken any law. Everything we have done has been within the confines.
And you're saying that the governor does not have a hand in this, right, Honorable? You're saying the governor does not have a hand in all of this?
No, the governor does not have any hand. How can you say the governor has a hand? We are doing our work as an independent arm of the government.
All right, we have to wrap up at this point. Right Honorable Austin Merigini of the Labour Party's Deputy Speaker of the State Assembly, as well as Honorable Ndubuisi Manuel, a member of the People's Democratic Party, also in the Assembly, representing Bendesal. Gentlemen, wish you the very best, really, at least for the good of the people of Abia State.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll head over to Benue State now, where the People's Democratic Party has raised the alarm over the continuous detention of 4 out of 23 suspended council chairmen, including an 82-year-old woman, Mrs. Veronica Gadger, who was the chairman of the Shanga local government area since Monday, July the 3rd, by the Department of State Service, allegedly on the orders of Governor Hyacinth Alia. However, the governor, through his chief press secretary, Mr. Tersu Kula, denies any knowledge of the arrest, but insists that the 23 former local government chairmen remain suspended pending the probe by the State House of Assembly. So let's switch gears now. It's a mix of politics and the economy of it all. It's the day after President Bola Tinubu signed 4 executive orders suspending the 5% excise tax on telecommunications services, among others. While addressing a press or media conference, a special advisor to the president on special duties, communications and strategy, Mr. Dele Alake, further announced the postponement of the Finance Act 2023, which has now deferred the commencement date of the changes contained from May the 23rd to September the 1st, as well as other issues raised.
Last administration, there were certain regulations and executive orders that were signed in relation to tax imposition on certain categories of goods and services and all related matters. However, in furtherance to when President Tinubu's avowed commitment to constantly dialogue with Nigerians and listen here to the yearnings and aspirations of our people, we are here this morning to let you have an insight into the recent executive orders that the President has signed. The President has given an order suspending the 5% tax on telecommunication services as well as the excise duty escalation on locally manufactured goods.
So this appears to be a reversal of the tax policies of the immediate past administration, and as you can see here, the government says it's in fulfillment of the president's promise. A lot of things to really break down. We're joined by Mr. Jibola Lomola, who's a partner at KPMG Nigeria, who's responsible for tax and regulatory matters. He joins us virtually as well. Thank you for joining us on the program, Mr. Lomola. You know, when these issues come up, Nigerians naturally run to experts like you to better understand this. So let's disaggregate this and get a sense of how it may likely affect different segments of the economy, from the business owners, the people, the consumers, and even investors.
Thank you so much for having me. And the announcement, of course, signals or heralds a good day for Nigerians and for Nigerian businesses. It does send a very positive signal to the organized private sector and to all segments of the business economy in Nigeria that the new administration is a listening one. There had been a number of agitations following the Finance Act and the fiscal special measures that were instituted by the preceding government around April of 2023. And then, of course, you have the Finance Act that was then signed by the departing President Muhammadu Buhari on the 28th of May, 2023, just on the eve of their departure from office. So there had been a number of concerns that have arisen around the implementation of some of the policies that have been enunciated. And of course, by wading into this matter, the president has sent a signal that they are very sensitive to the concerns of the business community and that they will do things that provide an optimal environment for businesses to thrive in Nigeria. This has been consistent if one considers also some of the campaign promises that the then candidate, who is now president, had enunciated on the campaign ground. So very many positives to take away from the decision taken by the government and the announcement made by the special advisors to the president on revenue and also on media, Mr. Dele Alake and also Mr. Zach Adedeji yesterday. If you like, I can talk about what it might mean for several aspects of businesses and individuals.
Please, let's break it down so Nigerians can know where we're at with this decision.
Absolutely. So it's a mixture of good and bad. But if I start with businesses, for example, it means that for companies, for example, in the manufacturing industry, they will be very pleased by what the government has done. Because if you recall, one of the special fiscal measures that was taken by the government was to introduce green taxes into the lexicon in Nigeria by imposition of a tax, for example, in going into the details of it, is a tax on single-use plastics. So, for example, when you go to a supermarket to buy groceries, your groceries will be given to you in some kind of nylon bag or the other. There's a proliferation of the use of plastics in the global economy. And one of the outcomes of the climate change accords was that governments across the world would begin to discourage the use of such plastics and motivate the use of other substitutes, for example, paper bags and the like. So there had been an imposition of an excise tax on single-use plastics, which, of course, the manufacturing sector would have liked a bit more time to get socialized on and to prepare for. And so they had been saying that took them by surprise. So what the president has done yesterday is to sign an executive order deferring the application of that excise duty until sometime in September.
Right.
Which then means that there's more time for consultations.
Yeah, I mean, for some, they say this is postponing the evil day, but at least you have some breather, you have some good days before the evil days, in quotes. But, you know, you have the average Nigerian who's facing subsidy removal, having to spend more on, petrol, the FX situation as well, inflation with high cost of living. And as we wind down on this, so how significantly will this tax reversal, cut, whatever cases, how will it affect that average Nigerian? Is there anything in it for us?
Absolutely. So for the average Nigerian, we're looking towards, unhappily, if I may say, we're looking forward to an increment in charges for telecommunications use, which almost every Nigerian uses ubiquitously across the economy. So we all carry multiple phones and we use communication. We consume data. We consume telecommunication services very assiduously as Nigerians. And by imposing an excise duty on telecom services of 5%, there was likely going to be, of course, the telecoms companies will pass that on to the ultimate consumer. So we were all looking towards having to pay more for accessing data and voice services. By suspending the implementation of that duty, if you like, the purchasing power of the average Nigerian can be salvaged somewhat in the monies that we would have then had to pay out to purchase those services can be saved. Right. And of course, with the increase in petrol prices and other cost escalations in the Nigerian economy, right, anything that affects positively the purchasing power of the average Nigerian will be received positively.
You know, I know for you tax people, you're still trying to understand what the president's philosophy overall on taxes and revenue would be. So this is a conversation we're still going to have again, but I would like to thank you so much for shedding some insight on this. At least Mr. Ajibola Alomala is a partner at KPMG Nigeria as responsible for tax and regulatory matters. Thank you so much for your time on the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
So that's been the package, everyone. So at least when you see that story again, you understand what it means to you. But we have to go right now. Thank you for being a part of the program. We're back again on Monday with more political stories. I'm Kayode Pikilu. Goodbye.